banker, Jonathan. This is David. This is my business partner, Claude. If you can see him, I think. And then we got Devin, and then Lucas.
What's up, y'all? This is Weekly Wallet Wagers. I don't know what episode we're on, but we're fired up to do it. Y'all hadn't started this yet, right?
We did start it. That's what I just did.
Crap. My bad. I'm just a second late. But y'all, this venue. I mean, I am fired up about this episode, right?
Let's go.
We got everybody here. Y'all see this? Yeah. We got John. We got everybody's all in the same place. So come on, y'all.
Okay. Well, we have a couple things we'd like to talk about today. One thing in particular is tech is not doing too good. Alright, David?
Well, I think that might be taking a little bit too large of a magnifying lens on micro market trend of tech giants dropping a couple percent here and there. But I think overall, over the past year, the S&P 500 has seen record increases, and it's at the record highest that it's ever been. And so, seeing a minor drop, I don't know. And what would you think?
The Nasdaq's 2.8%, which I mean, yeah, that's not heavy. But like, I think overall, I mean,
if you had 12 months ago, if you had stock in Tesla, for instance, or Apple, you'd be seeing record returns on those investments, even with a 2.8% drop. And so I think as time goes on, we're going to see a lot of those things jump right back up to where they were before, if not higher.
I mean, from what I understand, I mean, from what I've been seeing just in general, is people are still a little bit worried about the Delta variant. Now, obviously, we have, you know, as time goes on, more people have either been infected and naturally have, I guess I would say, been vaccinated, have been granted immunity from, you know, the virus and have either gotten their booster shot or vaccination. So people are, you know, still a little bit worried, and you have a bit of a tug of war with the bullish and bearish sentiments. That I think that's going to be like the major reason. I'd say, along with the government bond yields and all that's going on. Just it's not really one particular thing that I think you can say caused this little dip, but there's just a lot going on right now.
Very true. Hang on, guys. We have a very, almost never seen before live action here on Weekly Wallet Wagers. Luke Smith has actually joined us for once. Hey, hang on, that's sharp. We gotta see this, Luke. Check this out.
Shoes, boy.
Oh my God! Wow!
You need to follow him. Yeah. Good Lord. Check this out.
How you doing, man? Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Smith is in the house. What do you got for us, Luke?
Let's get drunk.
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
Alcohol over there. Go get you some and come back and join us.
Luke, I'm winning.
Hey, if you want the rest of it,
you got to finish it.
oh, you already.
Let me get you a shot, John.
But I already had one. No.
I'm still here.
But
Yeah.
going back,
you want to give me one?
Sorry, John. Outside of talking shots, okay, Jaeger Bomb. One thing that I would like to bring up to topic of discussion is like we have government bond yields rising, things like that. But I think one thing we need to look at is the iPhone 13 just got released, okay? But Apple's stock is pretty like it's almost like still water. It's not moving at all. I think
Usually you do see a jump when they release new products corresponding to those releases of new products, and so
In my opinion, all they added was the better camera.
well, I mean,
Hang on, what was that, Lucas?
better.
Right.
What'd you say?
I mean, they added about basically a better camera, maybe. Everything's the same, just about with what I see.
Does anybody have an iPhone 13?
I actually wanted to touch on it. I just recently bought an iPhone 12 like 6 months ago or less, and ever since the update I've actually been having problems with my phone. I can't send text through, my videos won't load, you know, phone bill's paid, I have 1,000 internet, wind connected to Wi-Fi at my home. Like, there's no problem I should have an issue, and where I haven't had issues before, now I am.
That's
a big update. I think
Hey, Devin.
like it's being overloaded with data or what?
And into that.
Yeah. I would like to jump in real quick. I did buy an
I bought a
iPhone.
12 Pro Max.
Yeah, hey, let's talk about that real quick. So, we have had this whole debate going on for a very long time now. Y'all have heard it on this show. I know David has talked crap to John for it. These guys have with me. I know. I'm sure Claude has, right?
I used to have Android. I switched over too.
Thank you.
Years ago.
Thank you. Good for you on that.
Long
Yes,
time
see,
being an Android
he's
guy,
even more
too.
progressive than you, John. But, all right, so finally, we've done episodes on this. John has finally gotten an iPhone. How long ago was it now?
It's like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And in the 2 weeks, can you tell us about your user experience being on an Android for so long, and now on the iOS platform? Are you happy you switched? Is it better, or is there still a learning curve?
I think the Android battery was a lot better. Like I could go 2 days without charging my phone, but like the iPhone interface itself is a lot friendlier.
That's because your iPhone works harder for you than your Android phone.
I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that.
There's a lot of background app refresh settings and things that you can turn off to greatly extend your iPhone battery, and I easily get 2 days out of my iPhone's battery. I have the 12 Pro Max, to be fair, like it is a big phone, has a big battery, but there are a lot of settings in the iPhone that you can actually extend your battery life with.
Which an easy, simple one would be low power mode.
Right.
It automatically saves you like at least
A
25%
day.
a day.
Yeah.
And I got
Not
like
more.
I got the Samsung G7 one.
Okay.
I mean, it had good battery, but now that I've had it for a year, it's decreased. you
That
know?
was my experience when I had Android in the past. Is the battery would be really good when you got it, and then before too long you can charge it for about 2 hours, and then it'll be dead.
no matter what you do.
Right.
It don't matter how you treat the phone, the battery's gonna decrease. So
I find that Apple iPhones have the best longevity in the battery over time after owning many different brands of devices. That is my anecdotal experience, but I have heard that from many other people.
One thing I do want to mention as part of like, you know, since Weekly Wallet Wagers we do talk about finance a lot. I think one thing that's important is like, is the iPhone worth the cost? You know, kind of like an economics principle almost. Like, are you willing to pay the price to have an iPhone? And like one thing I looked at is I thought about buying a brand new iPhone, and I originally had gone to like Xfinity, which is pretty popular out in Colorado, and I reviewed like maybe potential plans to buy an iPhone. And they would have locked me into a contract for 2 years. I would have lost all the discounts if I prepaid it, but I would have been incentivized to buy another iPhone. And I think that's how they lock in the customers. But you know, for somebody like me, like I just look for a refurbished phone. It's like the same thing. The battery, oftentimes, like especially if you title it refurbished and there's like the Apple Store and stuff, it's always like got a similar like battery lifespan as a new one. So I just looked at it. I bought it. It was like $200 cheaper. I mean, it worked for me.
Good for you.
About to say, shoot, these things are like $1,300.
Yeah,
You know,
I
still
bought mine.
making payments.
John, it's funny you bring that up about the electronics. I know we've talked about that a lot lately because both tech stocks have been changing a lot and we've seen a lot of fluctuation, but also, you know, the market and consumers are talking about this. One thing that we've done recently as a show, I don't know if we've really talked about it yet, but we upgraded our equipment recently for our video editor and our manager, Aya. So Aya is the one person, hey Aya.
What's up, Aya?
Aya is the one person that's not sadly with us tonight, but she actually, using the technology that we upgraded her with, actually set all of this up. So I want to give her credit real quick. She was able to actually, she's the one that spoke with the management here at Bowstring, this really, really cool venue we're at for us. Aya is the one that that built the invite that you saw, put all this together, and she's the one that is actually going to edit all of this to make it a complete episode for us. So she does a bunch of phenomenal things. I know all of y'all have seen some of her work, but wanted to thank her real quick because she is such a huge part of the show, even though she's not here right now because she handles all of her technology. So, I mean, David, you're actually featured on Discover Wellness with Dr. David, right?
Yes,
That
sir.
show. And I know that they handle some of the art for you in there as well. Can you tell us about that real quick?
They've been really excellent with handling a lot of the transitions and the videos and a lot of these animations that you see in our videos, and we can't thank them enough for the effort and the level of detail that they put into our videos.
Yeah. Thank you, David. Guys, we could not do this without you. Aya, we hate that you're not here. I'm sure you're blowing it up out in the islands in the Philippines, looking at, you know, doing stuff as fun as it always looks what we see on the computer. But hey, we miss you, and we'll see you soon.
And don't forget, make Mr. Fit a little bit more fit. You know, I don't want to be skin and bone like Will's character was, you know.
That's right, Dylan. So tell us about that, Devin. I know that, all of us are on different shows here on this channel, which is what makes this video so kind of neat and specific that we're all actually here in one location. Now, I know in addition to the way we see it, you've also been doing, you've done a few of the English 101 video, the cartoon series with us, right? The Mr. Fit is what you're talking about.
Right,
so,
yes,
what are your visions for that? You know, we can always do more cartoons. Where do you see Mr. Fit in this enterprise?
just hopefully trying to make an influence and a positive influence. If it's negative, we'll just get rid of him as a whole. But still, it is what it is. Mr. Fit is Mr. Fit for a reason. He works out, eats healthy, eats a lot. And he was a little bit skin and bone last video, but he's been working out a little more. So here coming soon, Mr. Fit will be fit.
Very
just
good.
for you guys.
Thank you, Devin. Guys, y'all check him out. I'm done with my commercials. Let's get back to the crew. We have, again, these guys have come from all over to do this. So, and hey, Luke's with us there. Come on, Luke.
Come on, buddy.
Go get him.
Hey, man, you want to waste the line like KTV?
Y'all keep talking.
Dude, I drove 5 hours. You forgive me?
Yeah, freaking
You forgot me.
Well, to continue the Apple discussion.
Thank you.
One thing I was thinking about while they were mentioning that is, yeah, Apple dominates the American market right now, but I think Android and Huawei and the parent company Huawei. I watched a video the other day. There's this guy who founded Huawei and all the Chinese companies that dominates the market right now.
David, Luke.
The Eastern Asian markets. Now, no one knows a lot about the guy because he's preferred to stay like down below. The thing is, yeah, it may be worth to someone who's in America to have an iPhone because it's just easier. I used to be an Android person myself. I used to be heavy in development for applications and security for the Android. The thing is, not everyone's worried about that. Everyone prefers simplicity over that. But the thing is, for people that live in a market where the standard of living is much lower, they can't afford a $1,000 iPhone, which for them in their country and inflation is going to be millions of, whatever their unit currency is. So that's why, they'll more likely have an Android phone or, something similar to the Android or Linux interface. So that's one thing to consider is, Apple has a strong grip of the American market, but what can it do to grasp a better, a better hold of the Eastern Asian or European market?
I think for the first time ever, like the best phone budget-wise is the iPhone. They released the iPhone 13 mini, which if I remember correctly is something like $499 or something, like brand new. And you buy it pre-owned, you could probably get it around $250 in a year from now. And those will be relatively as affordable as some of the Android phones that we see in those countries. They won't have the newest iteration that we have here, understandably, but for the first time ever, because customers walking into Apple stores because of the pandemic, a lot more individuals are buying their phones online. So Apple is a lot more price competitive. Samsung, they have $2,000 flip phones now. The most expensive phone that the iPhone has is like $1,000, and so it's half the price of the most expensive Androids on the market.
Hey, y'all both raised some really valid points about the cost in different countries of getting it, though. It makes me want to ask, I know we were just talking about our video producer and show manager, Aya, and so, hey Aya, again, I know we can't stop talking about you. And Aya's assistant has an assistant that works with her that does a lot of our video stuff, Aldrin as well. Both of those guys, or guy and girl, have iPhones. Now, they're in the Philippines, which is a smaller Asian country, and it's also a place where it's common for a lot of knockoffs as well, which makes me wonder, is there a price difference? Or Aya and Aldrin, y'all let us know if what we're talking about, the price and all that with the iPhone and Android is actually the same in the Philippines, or if it's different as well, because that made me wonder, at least internationally, because I agree with both of you.
Let me make a discllaimer, the newest of the newest is always going to be the most expensive. So you obviously see the top of the line Samsung is going to be whatever, $1,000 to $2,500. So you're still, but when you go to if you are looking just for a bare bone, a burner or something, you obviously don't think Apple. I mean, you think something cheap. And it depends on what you're using it for. Is it a business phone? Is it something you use to communicate to a certain amount of friends? It just depends on your use and purposing of the day.
Come on, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, whether you're doing it for business or personal, I'd still rather have an iPhone. I know, I mean, we're all preaching to the choir here. This is a biased argument.
Yeah.
Wait, I mean,
You can buy a pre-owned iPhone SE.
wait, hang on.
that's
We have an
$200.
Android user with us.
You can still buy a pre-owned. Like that's what I did.
Hang on, guys.
So much cheaper for that.
The only thing
We do have an Android user with us. Lucas is our one Android user.
The only thing that I like about Android, you don't gotta pay for music to download.
Okay.
iPhone, you gotta pay for the iTunes music that you download.
I pay for YouTube.
I mean, why pay for something that you can get an Android and get it for free?
Yo, I get Spotify. I mean,
There's apps out there.
Well, I mean, what app is that off of though, Lucas?
It's been a while.
What app do you get your music on?
It's been a while since I've done free music.
So I'm saying, yeah.
Leave it up to Baker. Now that I got unlimited data and shit like that, it's all you have.
Very good. All right, let's wrap it up.
Hey, you're
All right, y'all.
When I was in high school, it was Android. Like if you
back in the 80s. All right. Okay.
Yeah, as you can see, there's tons of conversation going on. We still have a ton more stuff to cover tonight, but thank y'all for checking in on Weekly Wild Wagers. John, back to you. I'm done interrupting.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great conversation tonight about iPhones and Androids. I mean, it started out in stocks, and now we're talking about the price and like advantages of each other. But I mean, hey, you know, like, when you think about it, everybody owns a phone.
I have a question. How's the movie stocks doing?
Movie stocks?
Yeah. How's movie stocks?
I haven't touched AMC in months.
We'll talk about that next week.
We'll
Movie
talk about
stocks,
that-
where
we'll
we're at
talk
with
about
that.
later. I lost quite a bit of money, but outside of that,
John, this is a reoccurring habit with you and stuff.
Isn't there a large shortage per interest? Like,
yeah, it's like Moment Capital or something. But
hey,
we're
buy
gonna
and
end
hold,
it
buy
here.
and hold.
We're gonna end it here. You guys, I hope everybody that's watching has a wonderful night, a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week on Weekly Wild Wagers.
Later, y'all.
Bye.